Grenada's Chief Medical Officer has ordered that all confirmed positive COVID-19 individuals, their contacts, and members of their household must remain in quarantine or isolation for 14 days. Anyone who fails to comply with this order will be in breach of the Public Health COVID-19 Regulations 2020 and is guilty of an offense. Upon summary conviction, that person will be liable to a penalty of up to $10,000. A message from the Ministry of Health.
5 things you need to know about self-isolation. Stay home. If you are told to self-isolate, it means staying at home, not going to work, school, or other public places, and you should not have any visitors. Separate yourself. If you live with others, then you need to stay in a well-ventilated bedroom with the door shut. If you have to share a bathroom, then use it after everyone else. Don't share towels and toiletries, as this may put others at risk. Call ahead. If you develop symptoms such as a fever or cough, then seek advice first by calling the Ministry of Health's hotline at 538-4787 or 458-4787. Please do not show up at a medical center or hospital, as this may put others at risk. Take care with waste. If you test positive, your waste should be double bagged and disposed of separately. Create a buddy system. If you live on your own, you can plan with friends and family to check in with each other and run essential errands if one becomes sick. Once sick, they should leave groceries on the doorstep. Why it's important. COVID-19 causes a mild illness for 4 out of 5 persons. Self-isolating will help protect the older generation and those who may have underlying health problems from getting infected.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
The Christmas Caravan is brought to you in part by Hubbard's and the Food Fair Supermarkets, Gittins Healthcare, Sissons Paint, and Bryden and Miners and Ace Hardware.
And welcome to my friends that has just joined me on television. Good morning to you. That's GBN's Channel 7 and Channel 11, Channel 20 for those of you that's in cable, and those of you that's followed me on the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd via our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Welcome to the Mid-Morning Buzz. It's your boy Joseph Cadore. You call me JC. It's always a pleasure being here with you. Well, oh, when the things go matching on, oh, when the year has matched on, it is in fact the 31st day. It is the last day of the year 2020. I'm not sure if most of you, if you remember the year started. I wonder if some of you still have your 2020 vision. I can imagine a lot of you start with the prospects of 2020 vision, and by the time COVID hit you, you probably went bifocals anyway. Now, we needed bifocals to survive. No, not just bifocals. We need, and still need, a divine intervention. But we put that on this aside for now. We'll table that subject, because right now we're going to be conversing with our friends from the Royal Grenada Police Force, two well-known gentlemen. One, I'm having him for the first time with me on GBN television. I'm assuming they've probably managed to pull him out of the woodworks in the licensing department. Sergeant Smith has been with me for quite a while. But I want to say good morning to both gentlemen, Sergeant Smith and Sergeant Abraham from the Royal Grenadier Police Force. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the program.
A pleasant morning to you, Mr. Cadore, and a pleasant morning to the listening public.
Well,
A pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Cadore, and to the listening audience of GBN. And we also have Corporal Nelson here with us too, likewise, Mr. Cadore.
Oh, so you have three of you. Oh, I wasn't aware. Oh, so there's also Corporal Nelson as well. We've been bombarded by the rank and file this morning. Well, it's the last day of the year, gentlemen. I know there's so much happening within the ranks and file of the Royal Grenadier Police Force. But based on the last conversation that we had, we know that come Monday, it's going to be a busy time. And Monday up until the June, that is, the 4th of June, it's going to be a busy period. It's anticipated to be a busy period for the department, licensing and registration. Gentlemen, who wants to kickstart the conversation for me as we look towards next week, Monday? No longer are we saying next year. We're saying next week now because we're here. Who wants to kickstart the conversation for me?
Well, pleasant morning to you, Mr. Cadore. First of all, we just want to let the public be aware that the 4th of January will be starting off the inspection period, which will run from the 4th of January to the 30th of June 2021. Now, inspection starts from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, then you have a break for lunch, and then you have inspection resuming between the hours of 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Now, the inspection will be taken place simultaneously at different locations. At Dusty Highway, that is close to the Grand Power Station. That will be from Monday to Friday. Granville, that will be the Pulse Street. That will happen Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of each week. St. David's Police Station and the Southern Police Station, that is the fire station in La Fortune, and the St. David's Police Station, that will be every Thursday and Friday of each week. The Victoria Police Station and the Guava Police Station, Monday and Tuesday for Guava of each week, and for the Victoria Police Station every Wednesday of each week. Not forgetting the Sister Island from curriculum inspection will be there. It will be conducted there from Monday to Friday of each week. Now, the inspection goes off in phases. We have a number of different periods. The first periods will fall within vehicles that have a single registration letter from 1 to 2500, and that will run from the 4th of January to the 15th of February. Also, vehicles with a plural registration letters, for example, PL50 from the 4th of January to the 15th of February. So vehicles that falls between 1 to 250 in the registration numbers, that is the inspection period. We want to implore on the general public that there is a 45-day or 6-week period for any vehicle to get inspected. Even if you doesn't have the money, we want people to come early and do the inspection. They can pay the inspection, they can pay the license fee at a later date, but we do not want for the last week, everybody's coming for the last week and to try to create this large crowd, and we know what with the pandemic of the COVID-19, we want to ensure that we create a safe distance of persons and to ensure that everything runs smoothly.
Let me ask you, Sergeant Smith, inspection, what exactly are you looking for when a vehicle comes up for inspection? So just so we can edify the public as they get ready.
Okay. Well, first of all, what the word inspection means. The word inspection means a careful examination of a particular thing. So once a vehicle, what we'll be looking for, first of all, the vehicle must be presented thoroughly clean, so that all the rubbers, the split pins, all the parts that comprise of the engine are clean, so there are no leaks. The rubbers are not dry rot. The boil joints are working properly. We want to ensure that all the laws pertaining to the use of a motor vehicle and its condition are adhered to, in the sense that the tint vehicle should not be tinted in violation of the law, in terms that it obscuring view from the outside to the inside. Also, vehicles with blinds and curtains and so on to obscure the view. Also, to restrict the lighting of that vehicle, the inside light of the vehicle of 65%. Your tires, your tires shouldn't be defective. In other words, the grooves and so on must be present. It shouldn't be showing ply or wire in those instances. Also, you have to make sure that your indicators are working, your headlamps are working properly. Headlamps are working properly, your engine is not leaking oil, the brake cylinders are not leaking fluid and so on. So all the mechanical aspect of that vehicle must be working properly and the day that vehicle is being presented. We also, the person must ensure that the muffler does not extend beyond the vehicle rear bumper, so that it can pose a danger to persons in the streets, especially when that vehicle is run for a period of time. Also, we want persons to ensure that it does not have any additional lights affixed to the front of the vehicle, other letters than what is on the registration plate. The registration plate, letters and figures that is on the registration plate are written to the front of the vehicle. We have been experiencing lately that persons are writing all sorts of things on the windscreen, the lower part of the windscreen and so on, putting on additional lights. Now, the law requires that a vehicle should be fitted with those mechanisms that are placed there by the manufacturer, and the law said this is for that standard make and model. So these are the things that we'll be looking out for inspection, to make sure that the boil joints are working properly and so on.
So let me ask you, because you just made the point, any of these additional fixings that you have on it, if it comes to, is that a legitimate argument that can be made, that when I purchased the vehicle, that it came on it? Because you see a lot of vehicles and it makes you wonder, well, where does the law stands regarding those additional fixings, whether or not it's the issue of lights, horns, because even the issue of horns, that has become almost a nuisance on the nation's road.
Yes, the musical horns and so on, they are not allowed. No musical horns and so on are allowed. Whistles and so on are strictly forbidden. So you shouldn't have any musical horns on your vehicle. You will hear some horns that are pretty scary. All right, so those things are not permitted. Now, one man made the argument that I purchase a vehicle. So purchasing a vehicle that way doesn't mean that there were no alteration made to that vehicle. All right, the law said the standard equipment for that make and model. Yes, you have a standard equipment for that make and model, but there are something that you call accessories. All right, no, we cannot say that somebody cannot have those additional features, but what the law is saying that you must get approval in writing from the Commissioner of Police to have such a fixtures on your vehicle. Well,
Sergeant Smith, we'll leave that conversation there for now, because I'm just going to assume that all the vehicles I see with it, that they got permission from the IGPF, because we don't want to make it's half an hour we have. So I'm going to leave you for them for now, and I'm going to head over to my friend Abraham. Sergeant Abraham, your role sits within the inland revenue. And certainly once it comes to the conversation of registration, it certainly becomes a busy time for your department. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir. Once again, good morning and to your listening audience. Well, we know from, as Sergeant Smith has already stated, that from the 4th of January will be our licensing period. In the licensing department here at the Inland Revenue, we do the finish work of the licensing period where we issue the disc and so forth to the customers. And that usually be a special time, very busy time, especially in the last week of our licensing period. And I think that Sergeant Smith has already spoken in relation to that, encouraging the customers to let us try to not create the crowd of the last week or the last few days of the licensing period.
Let's talk about COVID-19. I know you've, the IGPF, you had an experience around last year. That was in the the onset of COVID-19. Since then, we've gone through a lot of different things here. But talk to me as to what can the general public expect, not just on the outside when they go to the different outlets to do the physical inspection, but when they come in to make whatever payments they said that they have to make at the Treasury and all of those things while they await the documents from you. What is the scene that is expected?
Well, as we know that we are in the COVID period, the process will be much slower than usual, and we must advise the general public that the regulations must be observed in their coming to, even if it's inland revenue or any outlet where they go to do transaction. What should be expected from the customers, that they be fully prepared. In other words, when they're coming here to receive the decals, in that they should have their insurance certificates along with them, make sure they have the inspection certificates. And now we have the online payment available likewise. So persons can pay online, right, and come in to get the decals. And we must be mindful also that the decals are not only issued at the Inland Revenue, and the different inspection areas will have decals being issued. In relation to the COVID and everything that is happening around us right now, we are trying our best to see how we can accommodate the customers to make them feel comfortable in doing the transactions. We know it is not business as usual. There are a lot of changes that has taken place, but we'll try our best in this coming license and inspection period to ensure that we make them feel as comfortable as they possibly can, and we can try our best to work as fast as we possibly can to assist them in doing the transaction.
You made mention of the online facility, and a lot of times, while it is a frontier that there's no turning back to, there's a lot of persons, they seem to be a little bit tardy in embracing the reality that, listen, this is the direction that we're going. You've interfaced with it. Talk to us. How seamless is it? How comfortable is it? How easy it is for persons wanting to interface with that online portal?
Right. We know that it's not everybody that have the means or access to pay online. But the persons that have the access to pay online, it is not a difficult process. The online site to log into the site is pay.gov.ge. Once you log into that site,
just say it again. So for my, I just want to write it down.
Okay, pay.gov.
Right.
.gd.
So pay.gov.gd. Okay.
Yes, sir. Once you log on to that site, it will give you instructions from there. You follow the instructions and everything will be smooth.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so at least I'm happy that at least now, given now more than ever with the challenge of COVID-19, persons, of course, we know there's a social distancing. You did say from the outset that persons with the social distancing, of course, they can expect the process to be a little bit more slower and everything. And I'm sure you are encouraging, you would be full-hearted encouraging persons, go online, use the online option.
Oh yes, we'll be very, very grateful if the persons who have the access to the online payment, that they will use it to their advantage. The process, if the online payment, the platform is being used, we can assure you that it will be much quicker because you don't have to queue to go to the cashiers any longer. So what we have planned, just that, that the person that pay online are already inspected and everything, we want to have a separate line. So the person who go to the cashier will be separated, and the person that pays online just come to collect the decals. We want to have them separated, go into a separate area so we can do the things much faster.
And I'm happy that you answered that because I was hoping that was the case. Because certainly it would be a little bit disheartening if after I fast track my process online, then I have to come to the Treasury Inland Revenue and wait an eternity. So, folks, for those of you, of course, Sergeant Abraham is encouraging you to use the online portal. It is pay.gov.gd. pay.gov.gd, and quite seamless. You use that facility, and it means that once you come to pick up a decal, you'll be given, of course, privileged treatment. Yeah, you wouldn't mind a little privileged treatment in 2021, would you? It's not very often the government extended such privileges, or even to the members of the Royal Accredited Police Force. Listen, folks, put on your jacket, put on your tie, and say, listen, I have done my processes online. But I'm assuming, though, that once those payments and everything is made online, it gives you, I would assume, some confirmation, maybe printed, or can I come with my mobile device and say, well, listen, here's a screenshot of it, I have it here.
All right. So in relation to your question, once you make the payment online, they will ask you for information as to where to send your receipt. You can send it to your cell phone. You just put in the telephone number, or you can send it to your email. Right. You'll come with that cell phone. You can present it to us with the receipt, or you can come with a printed copy, which is sent to your email.
Talk about embracing technology in all of its formats, and I'm hoping, I really hoping that the general public would buy into that. In case you just joining us, this is Classic 105.5, 105.9, and GBN Television, and we have been speaking here with Sergeants Smith and Abraham. I also noticed, I was informed we have, I didn't get his rank though, but I know he's Nelson. Corporal Nelson. I wasn't advised that he's going to be part of the conversation because I'm watching the clock on the wall. I'm not seeing him though. I saw him earlier on, but I'm not seeing him. I'm not seeing him now. So I'm going to leave him for a bit, or unless he's going to speak to me on something that is totally different. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to Sergeant Smith. Registration, licensing, inspection. Is there a difference in terms of what you're looking for? I'm not sure if you could probably answer that to Abraham for me, in terms of the private vehicles and public vehicles, in terms of the inspection process, and what is the criteria that would qualify for having passed your inspection?
Good morning, once again. The standard for the standard in terms of qualification for passing an inspection for the private and the public service vehicle, they are no different. Both categories of vehicles must be in a proper state, in a proper state to pass inspection. So everything that is required for private vehicle is the same thing that is required for public service vehicle. But I may say though that we will be more thorough in our inspections for public service vehicle, because you are providing that service to someone, so we'll be more thorough in doing that inspection.
And the reason why I ask you that, because and you talked about make sure that there's no leaks. Does the inspection process speak anything towards the chassis of the vehicle? Because I've seen some vehicles on the road, and I keep asking myself, well, how? Like, seriously? What happened to Ryan and those boys and them down there? Why that's on the road? Talk to me about that, because it often draws questions.
Yeah, well, once we have that information, or how we have suspicion that a vehicle the chassis is not in its perfect condition, then we will hijack that vehicle and go under it to ensure that everything is okay with chassis and that vehicle is fit to be on our roads.
But that is one of the drawbacks of your inspection process. It doesn't allow for that under that more intricate, intimate search and inspection of the vehicle. Even when it comes to public vehicles, the seats and so. I mean, I've sat in some public vehicles and I started going, yo, driver, seriously, this is iron and I'm actually sitting on.
Yes, well, that's one of the things that we will play emphasis on. The seating condition and so on of those public service vehicles. We have to ensure that they are proper, that they don't tear persons' clothes and so on, and don't injure persons when they choose to travel on a public service vehicle.
My guest this morning is 24 minutes gone past the hour. I've been speaking with Sergeants Smith and Abraham. I've noticed that I have Corporal Nelson with me. And just before I pull you up, Corporal Nelson, I would ask you to rotate. I'm assuming you connected via your mobile device. If you could turn it landscape for me, or sideways, on the long side, before I pull you up on screen. And I'm not sure if he's hearing me.
I'm hearing you.
Right, I need you to just turn your device to me. I'm assuming that you on your mobile phone?
Yes, I am.
So turn it the next direction for me. Lengthways. Okay, so we're going to wait for him. We're going to wait for him to actually sort that. Okay, great. There you are. So, Master Control, he's actually ready. Joining the conversation now. It's Corporal Nelson. Corporal, put in perspective for me the importance, the significance of each and every road user, vehicle owner, them being able to understand and appreciate the necessity or the importance of ensuring that the vehicle is licensed or worthy to be on the nation's road. Because some people seem to take it for granted. Corporal?
Good morning to everyone. It is actually very important that each and every one must license their vehicle once the vehicle is on the nation's road. After the inspection has been conducted, the persons need to come to the office at the Inland Revenue Department in order to make that relevant payment in respect of that motor vehicle in order to obtain a licensed vehicle. The fees are varied. For private vehicles, they are charged based on the size of the engine. For commercial vehicles, they are charged based on their gross weight, their maximum gross weight. Such as a car, based on the size of the engine, they will be paying $180 in respect of the license, and inspection across the board for each and every motor vehicle, it's $75. For a truck it depends on, as I said, is the maximum gross weight. For a pickup, also, it's on the maximum gross weight. We are charging persons $150 for the first ton, and each additional ton, up to 10 tons, is $75. Now, it is crucial and it's very important that each and every one pay their license at a particular time. As Sergeant Smith said, there are 4 different licensing periods. The first one begins as from the 4th of January, and it expires on the 15th of February.
Let me ask you, and either one of you gentlemen can just pop in. Not failure to actually come for inspection, but if an individual they fail for any specific reason, tell me the process going forward, and whether or not you make allowances for the exemption, for somebody being exempted from inspection during their qualifying period.
Well, if I really understand your question, failure to inspect your vehicle at a relevant inspection period, right? If you come to inspect later than the time that you're supposed to, a late fee will be applied, and that late fee will be $50. Now, if somebody would not be able to inspect the vehicle within the given period, for example, we have persons that travels within the period that the vehicle is supposed to be inspected, they will inform us at the licensing department that they will be out of state. So as a result of that, they will want us to make a note, just in case. So when they return, it will reflect that it was not in the state, so the late fee can be exempted from them.
Great. I mean, I think because very often you hear individuals make all kind of crazy excuse. Let's assume it's a case where they're out of state and there's nothing you can do about that. But if for some reason their period, for some reason the vehicle itself, let's say for mechanical reasons, it's in a garage or something of that nature, what is the process and how should that be treated?
Right. That person should also come to us and let us know what is happening. But just in case that they're out of state, the vehicle is done for a mechanical problem in the garage. Now, after it is completed, the vehicle is fixed. You must carry a document, as a written, signed, and stamped document from that garage, informing us so that we will be aware that the vehicle was in garage, and the period that it was in garage from must be stated. Right. So understand, that it was from the 1st of January to the 30th of March, so there is no way you could have inspect within the period, which is the first period that your vehicle followed.
Thank you, gentlemen. Corporal Nelson, Sergeant Smith, and Abraham. I want to give each of you gentlemen 30 seconds because we've all the time. I'm going to just give you 30 seconds to make your final appeal regarding inspection of motor vehicles for the year 2021. Starting with you, Abraham, because you're on screen already.
All right. I thank you again, Joseph, for that opportunity. We want the general public to understand, our customers who come to us year after year, that there are certain things that we are observing and that we want to discontinue. For example, in relation to the insurance certificates, right? We have a lot of problems where personnel come in with them doctored certificates, which is not genuine, right? As a result of that, we will not be accepting duplicates or photocopies. Persons must come with the genuine copy or the original copy of the insurance certificate. And also, we will not be accepting certificates that are presented on a device, not a cell phone, not an iPad or so. We'll like the hard copy and we'll like the genuine copy or the original copy of your insurance certificate. And some people may say that we are constantly doing certain things. No, we are changing it now because we are encountering problems that sometimes allow us to end up in the court, arresting persons and ending up in the courthouse. We want to prevent that from happening. So all that we're asking our customers that they work with the genuine or original copy of the insurance certificate, which will make it very simple for us.
That sounds fair enough to me. Sergeant Ryan Smith, 30 seconds.
I just want to say thank you again, Mr. Cadore, for affording us this opportunity. We want persons, I just want to remind the general public that they should utilize the 6-week period and provide and present the vehicle thoroughly clean. Now, within that 6-week period, if you come early and there are any adjustment that have to be made to your vehicle, then you have ample time, so you wouldn't have to pay the late fee of $50. Also, there is a benefit to persons who decide to pay online, because when you come to Dusty Highway, you wouldn't have now go to the license department and the carnage to collect your decals. You can collect your decals at Dusty Highway. So we just asking the general public to cooperate with us while we go through the licensing period for 2021.
Thank you, Sergeant Smith. Corporal Nelson, 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. We are also thanking you very much for that opportunity. We are also appealing to persons that they should come early to license or inspect their vehicle, and we also appealing for them to use the opportunity that is available in that they can pay online. You know that we are in the pandemic time, and the clogging of persons coming to the office, if we can minimize that as much as possible, we would like them to do that very early.
Again, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for our listeners and the reviewers. My guests this morning, they were Sergeants Smith and Abraham, along with Corporal Nelson. Thank you, gentlemen. All the best to you, and all the best to all the members of the Royal Grenadier Police Force, and all the best to you in your individual capacity. 27 minutes on to the hour of 12 o'clock. We take a quick commercial break. Very quick commercial break, and then we head down to the Wyman's house.
Trios Auto Supplies, now serving you from two convenient locations. Melville Street branch opposite the bus terminus in